Would I respond to this? You can ask yourself, what value am I providing to the buyer? How does this help them in their day-to-day? You can stay top of mind by never checking in, by always providing value. But that comes from knowing the problems that you solve. So if you're able to provide value on something that you've seen other GMs do to help increase their guest satisfaction, their turnover is huge, obviously, provide that. Versus, I'm just checking in to see if you got my last email where we can help you save time and save money.
Totally. Speaking of which, that's a great reframe, by the way, which is my second question to you. And you really hit it on the head, providing value. In the concept of reframe, by sellers often think of themselves first and their prospects second. And I think now we're in a day and age, if you want to pique the interest of somebody that's struggling, be top of mind in a very valuable way, is that reframe of switching that up and leading with caring about them first. How can I help them first? Because ultimately it will come back to you in some form or fashion, right? And not always having the ask and not always going for the close. And so how important is that reframe? You touched on it a little bit. Maybe you can dive in a little bit more in there.
It's the number one thing from a gap selling lens that we focus on. I'd say 99.99% of the discovery calls I have, sales calls, if you will, if you're in hospitality, when I ask, help me understand, if I went into the CRM and I opened up an opportunity, what problems would the sales rep have uncovered throughout their calls that you all help to solve? And when I start asking, if there's 3 people on the phone, 1 person, I will get 12 to 20 different answers, which leads us down this path of when your team doesn't have alignment on how you actually help your buyer. And it's messy, how does the buyer know how you help them? So I think that reframe, I always put it through a problem lens, and Keenan is really great about. So that's, what problem does this solve? We only solve really 5 problems. So I'm always putting it through a reframe of which problems do I solve and how do I talk about that, then maybe hypothesize what it's stemming from and what could be happening in their role.